So Amir, Season 4 has officially begun for Street Fighter V. However, so far we've only gotten one new character. No Season Pass announcement. We got our new balance patch we've been waiting for a long time here, but no new system mechanics, no new story mode, no new stages. I feel like something's missing, for sure. And I'm not disappointed by it, but I feel like, there's still a lot more Capcom wants to announce. And I'm just kind of like, still waiting for it. Like, doesn't feel like Season 4 has started for me anyways. I don't know about you.
Yeah, like you said, it feels like an incomplete announcement. More like in the sense that more is gonna come later. They said they were trying, like on their blog, they said they were trying something different this season. And I mean, you can see it because there's no, like, character pass, season pass, whatever, right? We just got Kage. Usually at the end of the trailer, at least it says, X amount of characters coming out this year, but nothing like that. And even the balance changes, like not every character got balanced, as in, got patches at all.
Yeah.
Like certain characters, even on their blog, they're like, oh, they're just gonna play the same.
Right.
Like, weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're probably gonna announce something more, I feel like, before CPT 2019 actually begins. Because they already said that they're going to continue supporting the CPT events, starting with final round in March.
Right.
So I mean, 4 months basically.
But that means they need to come out with something soon, right? Because the pros need to be ready, right, by March.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I would imagine at least an announcement of what's to come really soon.
Yeah. So, in terms of the new character, Kage, he seems really strong. I've been playing him for a couple days now. He's really strong, really fun. I'm not like, he's okay, he's got potential. I don't really feel like that. It doesn't feel lackluster like Season 3 characters where it feels like Capcom was extra careful that they don't really mess up how the tournaments go, and there's like this really OP character that messes up the point system or whatever, right? And, we didn't see any Season 3 characters at Capcom Cup. So I'm really glad that Capcom is going in the other direction this time, where the characters might seem overtuned. We don't really know yet. It's too early to tell. But at the very least, we're like, this character seems strong. This character seems good. And maybe Capcom will be like, okay, well, if he's too overtuned, then we'll just nerf him. They'll go on the other route. And I think that's a better way of looking at it, especially since that's our only new character so far. It gets people excited, and it's just a fun character for people to play, and also anticipate pros using him being tournament viable. I think it's just a better way in general to do it.
So, it makes more sense because they released them early, right? It's December, so it's sooner than, for example, what they did with Sakura, who was in January. So they will have more time to see how he where he lands and how he plays and what people think of him, to then balance him before the actual CPT season starts. With a balance patch. So yeah, they probably, they're just trying to see, how high you can get basically in the tier lists, if you will. And that seems like a trend with some of the balance changes, because there's characters like, for example, Alex and Falk that got quite a big list of buffs.
Yep.
And I think it's the same philosophy, or like let's just buff these characters a lot and see where they land. If it's not enough, that's fine. That means they're not OP. But if they are OP, we have time to,
But like, look how many patches characters like Alex or Ryu have gone through. Sakura's gone through a couple already, and it's like, look, these characters are not being shown. They're not showing up at tournaments. It's been 3 years now. It's time to really go hard now and do some significant, impactful buffs that we can really be like, man, this character was definitely worth learning. That's what we want. And yeah, the balance patch notes in general as a whole are very short, probably the shortest notes that we've had from a balance patch for a season, and they're very underwhelming for some characters, for sure, but there's also a lot of impactful ones. And overall, I would say that the low tier characters got buffed and a lot of the high tier characters got nerfed. There's some characters in the middle that didn't really get any changes, and it just kind of makes me feel like we're going to be getting another balance patch real soon, like you were talking about. So
I feel like for most top tiers, they the balance patches the balance changes were quite smart. At least, someone like Guile, for example. Like, they nerfed things that made him a little bit oppressive,
Yeah.
but they still give him something in return,
Right. It's important.
Like, they're changes that make sense, they're not abrupt changes like, we're just gonna shoot him in the legs. Like, someone else in season 1.
Okay.
But like, I feel they're on the right track here.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they have in store for us with additional balancing.
I
Maybe I like to eat my own words and they'll shoot them in the legs.
But everything, it does seem a little rushed though. Like I said, we haven't got a season pass announcement. Only one character. They really wanted something out on the day of CPT because they knew they had a lot of eyeballs that night. And they're like, look, the game was free that week, right? We got a brand new character, new balance patch, all coming in fresh on that one day. And it's like, hey, Capcom's like, okay, we'll rush out part of this patch now, and then we'll announce the rest later. I really hope that's how it is, because it is pretty underwhelming so far, right? Overall. And like I said, there's a lot of characters and their balance note, because we've waited a year for our favorite characters to get patched, and honestly, these notes are still too small. They're still too. It's gonna be like fresh for like a month, but then it's gonna start to die down again afterwards. We need some big changes where these characters are played differently, and there are some characters like that on that list, like you said, Alex. However, I feel like there's more missing overall in general. And
it could just be that those characters were the first ones that they tried to balance, and so they already had the patches ready for them, so they rolled them out, but not all the other characters.
So either they're gonna release that patch before final round to get the pros ready, or they're gonna wait for the first big major and then see how it is and then patch it afterwards. Or maybe there might be multiple patches. It's gonna be interesting. Like you said, Capcom says they're doing things differently this year, so they could be referring to this season pass. They could be referring to how they balance the game, how they release content. It could be all of the above. So when do you think would be around the best time, Mir, that they would announce the next update here?
Well, I would imagine, like, I would have said Evo Japan, but Evo Japan is not part of the CPT. Like, it's not related any
right.
Like, it doesn't matter. So it's probably something like New Year's, like the beginning of the next year.
Yeah, they said 2019, so I mean that would make sense around New Year's, maybe January-ish.
Because there's like no other event, at least that I can think of, where they could show anything, right? So it has to be something unrelated, I guess.
I definitely think a system mechanic change is something that all of these notes would reflect, right? Like, they didn't want to change too much because there's something big coming to the system that they won't know how it'll impact the game. I mean, I remember last year before Arcade Edition, we got those trailers showing off all the second V triggers and stuff. Maybe we'll have something similar in January, for sure. And at the end of the day, Capcom is on the up right now. The company is really focused. They're not working on too many titles at once right now, right? They're more focused on the fighting game side with MVCI dead, and they got Rez coming out, they got DMC coming out, and it just doesn't make sense that they put Street Fighter V on the back burner right now and not keep that IP strong going up to 2020. If anything, they're going to be adding more to the game. So I'm really wondering how they're going to do that. And yeah, I really hope that they add some new mechanics for the season to make it feel truly fresh, for sure. And a new story mode would be cool too. And like I said, I really think they should look at a lot of these characters for this balance patch, because some characters just got left in the dust, man. And the developer notes, as happy as I am that they actually added developer notes this time, it's kind of silly, because they're like, the character's going to play the same. We don't want the characters to play the same. We want all the characters to play differently.
Especially when they need to play differently, like, Jury. It's not like it's okay for Jury to play the same.
Yeah. So it's just like, people don't want to hear. They don't want to wait a year to hear like the character's gonna play exactly the same. You know, they want to keep it fresh, and they want to. You don't want your character to become boring, like poor Nikali players. That'd be devastating. So yeah. I'm really curious on what Capcom's going to do this year. But I don't think, like I said, we should be too negative about it. At the end of the day, they did surprise us with that day one patch right away. And it seems like they're trying to keep us surprised. So that's good.
Yeah, especially when it comes to the season pass, right? The fact that Kage is not part of the season pass, or at least it doesn't seem like he is.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't show up on the Steam store. It doesn't show up on the
Right.
PSN. You have to buy them from in-game. I mean, it just feels like, you know, a decision that's, like we said, and not necessarily rushed, but something that they had to put out. So, you know, then you will probably get, hopefully, a complete 6-character season pass on top of Kage, right? It'd be cool.
Because people would be salty if
maybe. Yeah, maybe even more. Yeah, if Kage was part of the season pass, I'd be I spent $6 for that.
Right, yeah, a lot of people bought it. So like, what's going on here? I could have just waited, you know, but people don't want to wait. So hopefully Capcom doesn't do that. So guys, let us know what you think about Season 4 in the comments below. Is it a little too underwhelming right now? Do you guys anticipate a lot more updates down the road? And do you guys think there will be more than 6 characters this season? It's actually quite likely, considering that we already have Kage without a season pass. As usual, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Me and Mir got a lot of content for you guys, and Sonic Soul as well. Down the road here with some Kage guides, and as well, I'll be going through the Season 4 patch notes with you guys one character at a time. So look forward to that. Be sure to like the video, get the word out, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.